Okay, sigh, you're my dream come true. I pledge my all to become part of you. I will work till I die, reach for the sky, because I know the meaning of fine new pie, and I'll give my all because I'm a Kappa man.
I want to be a Kappa 'cause I've been told. Trying to be a Kappa man, that the streets of Kappa land are paved with gold.
I'm at Southern Illinois University, and I know about the Kappas. They don't know me, but I know about them. Every Kappa individually at some point introduced themselves to me, told me who they was, found out who I was, and asked me if I was interested in being a Kappa.
Here I am walking on this here dirt road, black tar, hot in Carbondale, and then this car pulled up. And he asked me, where you going? I said, well, I'm trying to register, but I have to stay an extra night. And that they told me that there's a black fraternity house around here somewhere. I'm going to try to see if they can put me up for the night. And he said, I know where it is. Get in. I got in the car. Then he drove around the road. Then he stopped. Then he pointed at this house. I saw these great big old letters, K.A. Psi. At the time, I didn't know what they meant. And he says, right on over at that location. Then I turned at him and thanked him. Then I looked at his dashboard, and there he was a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
So my buddy came from Eastern, Charleston, Illinois, came up. He's a vet just like me, both Vietnam vets. I saw this brother in Vietnam. Came back, he said, look, I want you to come down and go to school with me. He said, if you go to school with me, I want you to join my organization. I said, what is your organization? He said, Kappa Alpha Psi. I thought about it. I said, why not? It's the college life. I didn't want to be a Q. I didn't want to be an Alpha, and I sure as didn't want to be a Phi Beta. So the only clear choice for me was Kappa Alpha Psi.
I was attending these parties on Monday nights. They was at the Purv House. Now, mind you, I was 18 years old, didn't know nothing about no Purv House. It wasn't until I got on campus at North Texas that I realized that that was the Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity in Chicago. I didn't know what the meaning of it was or anything. I didn't even know about the fraternal life at all at that time. I said, since I started it, I'm not gonna quit. And that's how I got introduced to Kappa.
Coming up, everybody in my family was Kappa. I got matriculated to high school, and then all my coaches were Kappa. My track coach, my basketball coach, my football coach. And so when I got down to Eastern, I was primed to play as Kappa Alpha Psi.
The first group of guys that I met playing basketball were some of my classmates. We were all freshmen. A lot of them knew about the fraternity life. I did not. So my introduction to Kappa was through some of my friends being interested in pledging Kappa. And when I saw them, the Kappas, playing in the basketball tournament on campus, I saw them winning, and I saw their cheerleaders who were the sweethearts. I just saw the camaraderie, and I became a man interested in Kappa. And that's when I developed a relationship with the brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi before I pledged.
First thing I went to was a Greek scene. Then I would watch the Kappas, and they just did things different. So fast forward to a point where I realized that that was the organization that I wanted to look at joining. And once we came in, because we all had individual followings and people on the yard knew who we were, we became an instant hit on the yard. And then we took over the yard, and it became a Kappa yard. And everybody knew it was a Kappa yard. So that was my journey coming into Kappa.
My biggest influence on becoming Kappa was my brother. When I first went down to Purdue, I knew I was going to school. I had been accepted, but they did not give me a dorm room. So I needed to go down there and find me someplace to live. So my brother and I, we drove down to Purdue to find me someplace to live because I knew I didn't have a dorm room. As we drive into town, the first black person we see walking down the street, I said, well, let's stop him and find out where we can go to find out where we can rent an apartment. Turns out that he was a noob, James Bly. And he got in that car and he hung with us that whole day until I found someplace to live. And to actually see that brotherly connection between him and my blood brother. And then as I got to know the Noops on campus, that really sealed the deal for me right then.
I had a good friend that come up with me. He went to high school, he was a couple grades ahead of me. Name's Eddie Clay. He was at Alabama State, and he got down there before me. He took me on his wing, found out he was Kappa, showed me the lay of the land, and that was my introduction to Kappa, and he just kind of took it from there.
I was introduced to Kappa when I was a senior in high school. My best friend at the time was Daniel Taylor. His brother, Shelby, he got made down at Alpha Z, which is Florida A&M, I believe, in '72. So that's the first time I've heard the name Kappa Alpha Psi. And then I just started seeing how the Kappas was functioning on the yard. They were heavy into politics. They were athletes on the yard, football players and everything. And then that spring, that's when I decided I was going to pledge.
Trying to get a little bit more understanding about, Greek life, Kappa Alpha Psi, and quite naturally, I was able to look up and find some of the distinguished members of the organization. Members like, your Bill Russell, your Wilt Chamberlain, your Oscar Robertson, Gail Sayers. That's kind of what prompted me. I liked what I read. I liked what I saw. I liked the way at that time, I have to say, the big brothers carried themselves around and everything. And it just was, kind of magic from there.
I was DJing at a nightclub that I wasn't even old enough to get in. It was owned by one of the Noops, and the other resident DJ was a Noop, and they found out that I was a DJ from Chicago, and the next thing you know, I had a job at 19 years old, 18 years old, in a club that I probably shouldn't have even been in. So I was around the Noops. They had a lot of good influence on me, and I wanted to be a part of something that was bigger than just me.
I just started hanging out with the brothers at Chicago Heights. And then I would go to their golf outings and get to know brothers and participate. And then, I got invited to come to a smoker, and then I got selected to be on the line. So, and I became an Ace Club because that's what I was told I needed to be.
We're almost there. We've come a long, long way.
We talked about getting another chapter because we went to Chicago Alumni chapter, and Brother Robert Braswell stood up in the meeting and asked a question about something, and one of the brothers from Chicago Alumni told him to sit down and shut the hell up because he wasn't financial. So at that point, we gathered our heads and thoughts together, and we wanted to form our own chapter.
I was down at the Artie home, and all of a sudden, somebody said, Newt, Newt, you better respond to me. And it was Charles Lucky. He invited me out to come to a meeting that Evergreen Park alumni was having.
The province board met with the local chapters of Chicago. We weren't accepted. The only chapter that supported us was Gary Alumni.
They talked to us for a few months, couple, 3 months. And finally we got a phone call saying, honestly speaking, there's a gentleman's agreement that there will not ever be a second alumni chapter in the city of Chicago, because Chicago Alumni is the first alumni chapter in Kappa, and there will be no other chapter approved by Grand. It's a gentleman's agreement, and we thought you guys should know this so you can let that dream go. I called Petey that night. I said, Petey, let's find a location that's not in Chicago proper, because it doesn't have a Chicago zip code. He said, Evergreen Park up there, Larry. I mean, for an example, one side of the street, you go to Evergreen Plaza where a lot of black folks shop. You walk across the street, you're not in Chicago anymore. Charles Lucky was laughing. I'll never forget that. He said, Hook, we made a ton of people, and the ones we didn't make made us. And they're not in anybody's alumni chapter. They're just in Chicago. They called back and said, you guys won't last 3 years. You'll be lucky if you still have a chapter 2 years out. I mean, they were pissed.
And slowly we began to formulate, this might work. And we had brothers who believed in us and brothers who did not. The ones who did believe in us went to the wayside. So as we got a letter in the mail, congratulations, you've been granted a charter, and one thing led to another. Bam, here come August 27th, you're in. So I knew it was gonna happen, it's just a matter of time. And it was happy. August 27th was in 1993, and we knew we had something unique because we knew, as we are now, the only chapter that did not initiate people. We reclaim only. Reclamation, and that was unique. No other chapter did that.
I ran into Lucky. He said, "Hey, bro, we getting ready to start this chapter up. You know, you should come check us out."
Taylor Cannon, rest in peace, from Theta Gamma chapter. He had been inviting me to chapter meetings for a chapter that they were looking to create, which ended up being Evergreen Park Alumni chapter, the chapter I'm in right now. And I eventually went. And on my first day there, I was like, okay, I like this. What committees can I join? So I immediately became reclamation chairman. And so that's how brothers got to know me. And what they really saw was that brother has initiative. He goes and does things without having to be told. And so that's how I got included into the alumni chapter.
I came to a meeting, I remember it was cold. I think I came to the meeting in December of 2013. And then right after the holiday, Rick Wills was polemark, and right after the holiday, I came to the chapter meeting, and I've been at Evergreen Park Alumni ever since.
When they were chartering Evergreen Park Alumni, you know, I knew CJ, I knew Charlie Newt. They were at me, brother, come on, get active. But that time didn't get real to me until 2006. I got my oldest nephew, oldest living nephew, was at Howard University, and I don't want to say pledging, go through the intake process. I cannot let that boy become a noob, and I'm not active.
In my Kappa travels, you know, you learn a lot of things about Kappa Alpha Psi, things that we do up north that they do a whole lot differently in the South. You're looking at alumni only, you know, no initiation, all reclamation. So which means these guys have been around and they know some of the fundamental purposes of what we do. And also, you know, like I said, I knew a lot of these guys 30, 40 years. So that made everything really, really comfortable, and you really want to, put your best foot forward, especially if they're looking for you for leadership.
My ship, Romel, who's been active in EPA longer, reached out to me and asked me did I want to become active with EPA. And so I came to a few meetings, started participating in some of the activities like the turkey giveaway and some of the other events. And it just kind of evolved from there.
So how I got reclaimed was basically I saw Derek Sanders Poochie in the store. He had on his Kappa stuff like Poochie would. And so I was walking through and I saw him. I went up to him and I was just like, yo, what's up? My name is Ron Durr, spring 2010 Chicago Heights alumni. He introduced himself. He asked me if I was active. First thing Poochie asked me was, you active right now? You financial? And I'm like, nah. He was just like, well, we got to get you taken care of. I felt more at home and comfortable just dealing with the brothers in EPA because everybody was welcoming.
So when they said they were going to make an alumni chapter, I was all for it. I didn't go in as a charter member, but I was there when they began.
I joined Evergreen Park in 2009 after my son got made a Kappa Phi in March of 2009. And he wanted to know why I wasn't active, and I didn't have a good answer. So Charles Lucky had been kind of on me to join Evergreen Park for a while. And so because of him, I ended up coming to a meeting and, been part of Evergreen Park ever since 2009.
The fellowship, the community service, and just being, not just being a t-shirt wearing brother. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a part of something special.
You're as pretty as a picture, and as sweet as you can be, for I love you so sincerely. You are all this world to me.
I met Miss Juanita Wills. Come to find out that she was already a Kappa Silhouette. And we didn't have a Kappa chapter here in Chicago. And so she was traveling, using her own funds to go down to Indianapolis. I asked Ms. Wills, do your research, and I said, once we get all the research together, I will present this to the brothers. We voted on it, and we have our Silhouette chapter. We've had the Silhouette national chairperson come to my church where we had the chartering ceremony. We started the fire, and now we got another Silhouette chapter. Cal City has a Silhouette chapter. That wouldn't have happened unless we got ours started. The ladies are all together, they're having their meetings, and they most definitely help us whenever needed. If we ask them to do anything, the first answer is yes.
And if ever I should lose you, it would surely break my heart, for I love you and adore you. You're my Kappa, Alpha, Psi, sweetheart. I'm trying to be a Kappa man. I'm trying. a Kappa man.
Tommy Davidson was the supervisor of Jackson Park's field house, and he allowed Evergreen Park to meet there. Through that bond, we were able to work with his park to establish Turkey Harvest, which was renamed as Taylor W. Cannon Jr. Turkey Harvest Basket Giveaway.
And Tommy started off giving us just a couple of families in the beginning, a couple of families. We do a couple, and then every year, the turkey giveaway just got, the family number just got bigger and bigger and bigger to how it is now. But in the beginning, it started off with a few families that he thought was in need. And then it just went to, here go a list of families.
We've always been about service, and throughout the years, we have developed our core initiatives in community service. When I was pole mart, we did an initiative when we used to have Easter celebrations, Easter parades for our kids, so we bring in family events. We began to start collaborating with sororities, and we end up doing a 4th of July parade. So once we started doing collaborations, that kind of opened us up also to begin to start doing some additional community services events.
Brother Lance Davis, he had a food pantry in Evergreen Park, participated in serving food to his community. We were there each Saturday serving foods to the patrons, and we did that for at least 5 years. It was great for me because I was giving back, and that's what Kappa Alpha Psi is about, giving back to the community.
When I was pole mart, I was reading the bylaws, and the bylaws indicated that Evergreen Park should have a 501c3 foundation, but we never had one.
Steve Warren, talked to some other people like in Chicago Alumni chapter and all throughout the metro about what would be a good way to help us develop a philanthropic arm for Evergreen Park alumni and be able to raise money and do some things that we currently can't do because of what the 5017C designation is to the chapter.
I initiated all of the paperwork, to get the foundation established, to get the 501c3 designation with the Internal Revenue Service, to get our EIN number with the state of Illinois through the Secretary of State's office. And the brothers, when we were trying to figure out, what should we name this foundation? And I think it was Brother Lucky suggested that we name it after Robert Braswell. And that was met with, unanimous support by the brothers in the chapter. So we named the foundation the Robert L. Braswell Foundation.
To have the foundation after we lost him and have the foundation do the things that it does, I think is super important for his legacy to continue, for that warm spirit that was Braswell, for that warm spirit to continue. He lives through us, and I think that's very important.
Steve, me, and Rick came up with like trying to find a different way to raise funds and do other things. So I worked with a young lady from Xi Nu Omega, which is my wife's chapter, and her name is Tracina Quinn, and she has a business basically to do things like that, like on the side, right? And so I spoke with her and I said, hey, I need some help planning this. Like, give me a list of movies that are gonna come out and be premiering, right? We had a board meeting about it, saw how the brothers felt. Everybody felt that that was a decent idea. That turned that into, man, a great experience. You know, Tracina did like put together the food and, you know, helped me with the banners and stuff like that. And then I built the Eventbrite website to bring in all of the revenue that we was gonna capture, the reports that we needed to see in order to make sure that we was gonna be operating at a profit. And man, I think we had a great time. We saw a good movie, and we established the foundation in the marketplace as, you know, something that we're gonna start doing to raise funds with. And not only did we have fun, but we raised, man, like close to $7,000.
DJ, this was like 2011, Don Murphy Jr., he was the pole mark, and I think we was at a board meeting, and you know, I just came out and said, what do you think about me being the guy right chairman? And he was like, cool. And I've been the guy right chairman ever since. And what we do is mentor young men, because a lot of kids say they never see men that look like them. And because all the teachers were females, and if you do had a male teacher, you may have had one black male teacher and the rest was white. It was easy for me to get resources because I worked at a high school. We would meet on Thursdays after school. Brothers would show up, teach them how to be groomed, you know, how to tie a tie. Certain things that we can teach them that their mama can't teach them, you know, because a lot of them, they don't have a father at home. So just being that male figure, and then having some fun with them too. Going, you know, bowling, skating, things like that. Most of the Kappa leaguers I had so far has gone to college. And some are graduated now. Young men are doing pretty well with themselves. So, you know, being able to look back on the fruits of my labor, I feel that, you know, it's worth it.
It's a two-way street. It's not what I can do for them only, is what they could do for me, you know, inspire me to be a better person and, you know, to remember everybody don't have what we had. So everybody don't have a dad. Everybody don't have someone to tell them about going to college. Everybody don't have the necessary things in place. So it's kind of, if I put it in one word, I would just say inspiring. Having them actually show up to the food pantry and you know, bag up groceries and having them help carry stuff to the seniors' cars, and then we also having them pass out stuff, water and socks and stuff to people who are less fortunate. So those are two things that jump off the page.
What's it like raising money to give them scholarships?
Man, I love that, being able to say, hey, we got $1,000 for you to go to college. So I think that's something we can expand on. I want us to get to 30, 50,000, and we can help every semester. We could make a difference.
It's been 30 years, brother, and we got many more that we'll be working towards. So I say, yo, 30 plus.
Many are called, but few are chosen. It's been 30 years of Evergreen Park Alumni Chapter, and I just want to say congratulations to EPA. 30 years later, Evergreen Park Alumni Chapter still stands.
30 years is 3 decades, it's a long time, and to be one of the only reclamation chapter only is a big accomplishment. A lot of people didn't think we can do it. A lot of doubters. But here 30 years later, we still got good numbers, and we're still moving forward.
We did it. This is 30. We got another 100 to go. Evergreen Park Alumni Chapter is here to stay.
Congratulations to Evergreen Park, fulfilling that goal and that dream that we had in 1990, and we got chartered in 93. And congratulations to all brothers who's been a part of that and will continue to be a part of that going forward.
Congratulations to everybody who's ever been a member of Evergreen Park Alumni Chapter, especially shout out to the charter members. August 27th, 1993, that had to be one of the best years on the planet because something special came out of it. And looking forward to celebrating the 30th year of that something special.
Having this celebration and being with the brothers is not only celebrating the achievement of the longevity of the chapter, but thinking about the future and where we could go. We have some amazing brothers with amazing life experience. We have some amazing brothers with amazing history inside the bond. We have people that have been dignitaries, that police officers, attorneys, insurance professionals. We run the gamut in the professional world of people and life experience. We are Evergreen Park alumni.
Congratulations to the Noops, not just in EPA, but just in general. And also, I just want to say yo to the Noops.
How many chapters do you know that have brothers in California and Georgia, Florida, of course Illinois, Arizona? So we need to keep it up, and congratulations to all of the brothers, and I look forward to the next 30 years.
I just want to thank the brothers that's in the chapter now that's keeping the ball rolling. The surges of different chapters, EO and everybody, Beta, whoever. I want to thank them for spreading the word, because with their help, they've made us go from a small chapter to a large chapter.
Proud to be a part of Evergreen Park Alumni, and I would like to say happy 30th anniversary. We came a long way. It's been 30 years, and because of that trip that we went on that brought us closer together as a chapter, that's who we are, and that's who we will always be. Man of Kappa Alpha Psi, but Evergreen Park Alumni Chapter. Many were called, but you know who the chosen few were. Yo.
I congratulate Evergreen Park for an outstanding job from creation, from the trials and tribulations to where we are now.
I think we're doing a great job. Just keep the train rolling down the tracks.
To my beloved Evergreen Park alumni, happy 30th anniversary. I crossed 30 years ago, and I moved here in 95 when I graduated from college and joined Evergreen Park in 1995, and I had the privilege of serving as one of the past polemark of Evergreen Park alumni. I wish you continued success, continued achievement in every field of human endeavor. Congratulations. James Bradford II, past polemark Evergreen Park alumni.
Good evening, brothers. Congratulations to Evergreen Park, 30 years, milestone achievement. Marlon Sanders, once again, passed keeper exchequer for 3 terms. But it's all good, brothers. Much success, much more achievement. Hopefully, Evergreen Park will see that big 50.
Yeah.
Yo.
Congratulations, Snoop. Evergreen Park, 30 years. Yo.
Congratulations, EPA, 30 years in the fold. Dynamite, right on, Noops. Yo.
Happy anniversary, EPA, for 30 fantastic years. I am honored to be a part of this glorious chapter.
Evergreen Park alumni, I happen to make 50 years and they were treating me real good, real good.
like to congratulate them on their 30-year anniversary. I was kind of late to the scene, but I'm from Gamma Upsilon chapter, spring 1973. But I did join Evergreen Park Alumni, and because I do know most of the brothers there, and I'd like to thank them and for welcoming me as well.
Congratulations to Evergreen Park for 30 years. Since I've been part of this chapter, I've met some excellent brothers. Brothers who are doing so well. Brothers whose feet are on the ground. Down to earth brothers. Good brothers. And so I'm just so happy to be a part of Evergreen Park Alumni, to be active on every level. I'm so glad that a brother I made brought me back into the fold, came and reclaimed me. And that's what Evergreen Park is all about, reclamation. We reclaim brothers. We get brothers back active. And you know what? We're on the move. Thank God and praise God for Evergreen Park Alumni Chapter.
My name is Lance Davis, and this is my Sans, Greg Griffin, and we want to thank God that we are a part of the EPA chapter. Happy and wonderful celebration of 30 years of excellence and Phi Nu Pi. And so we're Kappa Ship Untouchable 11, 1981 spring. Again, Lance Davis.
Greg Griffin.
Yo.
Robert Hamilton, Gamma Upsilon, spring 73. Congratulating the Evergreen Park Alumni brothers on 30 years in the bond. Yo.
I'm a proud member of Evergreen Park Alumni, and I'm definitely proud of being a part of this great fraternity and this great alumni chapter. To many more years, Evergreen Park Alumni. Yo.
It's been a pleasure, it's been fun being around all of the brothers and our wives and girlfriends and silhouettes. Thank you so much for making this a wonderful event.
K-A-P-P-A-A-L and a P-H-A P-S-I Phi Nu Pi. I wanna be a Kappa till the day I die. A little boy once was I never knew the meaning of a Phi Nu Pi. As I matured and I grew, it became time to go off to school. When I arrived, I was told about these men who thought a Phi Nu Pi was gold. They said to me, hey, look up, boy. If you look up, you'll see our greatest joy. Okay. A-P-P-A-A-L and a P-H-A P-S-I Phi Nu Pi. I wanna be a Kappa till the day I die. I must admit I misunderstood. These were Kappa concepts of true brotherhood. I said to them in passing by, please let me be a Kappa man before I die. Okay. A-P-P-A-A-L and a P-H-A P-S-I Phi Nu Pi. I wanna be a Kappa till the day I die. Okay, A-P-P-A-A-L and a P-H-A P-S-I Phi Nu Pi. I wanna be a Kappa till the day I die. K-A-P-P-A-A-L and a P-H-A P-S-I Phi Nu Pi. I wanna be a Kappa till the day I die.